What's up, everybody? It's JT Magnum, and welcome to Niners News. And not a good day, obviously, for the San Francisco 49er Nation, as the Seahawks whooped the 49ers 29-3 last night in a game that was delayed by lightning and rain and all kinds of stuff. Delayed the inevitable, obviously. Not a lot of good things to say today. And I'm sorry, I apologize. I wasn't able to talk about the 49ers and Packers the week before. I was busy with a lot of things and handling a lot of things, so we're just going to skip over that week. And even though that was a good week, I'd like to talk about that. But let's talk about the game last night. I thought it was fairly closer than what the score suggests. Everybody keeps saying. First of all, give credit to Seattle. Their defense is sick. Their defense is really, really good. Their defense is amazing. I think the 49ers need a different approach with their offense with Seattle because Seattle just seems to know everything about the Niners game and where they're going, what they're trying to do, and stuff like that. I think the 49ers need a different approach when it comes to offense when they're facing that kind of defense. That defense is basically a mirror image of San Francisco's, except they have a lot more pass rushers, it seems like, on the defensive line. And the only thing that I will say that I do not like about Seattle's defense, and a lot of people are going to say, and remember, I watched the game thoroughly. I have a DVR. I watched the game twice, actually. So I had to go through it painfully twice. And not only do I watch the game twice, when I talk about things like this, I rewind and I pay attention to all the defensive plays, all the defense that's going on, and I noticed two major things. Now, the penalties for San Francisco were really stupid. They got a lot of dumb penalties, including the big one with Ahmad Brooks and Alden Smith later on in the fourth quarter, where Russell Wilson was going down. Ahmad Brooks accidentally hit his face mask when he was trying to, put him down, and he went down, and he realized it. It was just kind of dumb. And Alden Smith hit one of the Seattle defenders that hit him first, but he got penalized for it, of course, because the refs always see the second; they never see the first, of course. But I don't know. I just found it really, really dumb, those penalties, and it killed us in the end. But regardless of all that, the Seattle secondary, I know they're called the Legion of Boom, and they're supposed to be all really good at everything, but all I saw the whole night was holding. And I hate to be a complainer, I know, 40 whiner, blah, 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 and all the other stuff that you get called if you're a 49er fan and it happens to you. But had that been the 49, I think if it was the other way around where the 49er defenders were holding them, they would have flagged the 49ers for it every time. But for some reason, Seattle seems to always get a pass when it comes to holding defenders. I don't know if they're taught to hold a certain way so that, because you see him, Richard Sherman does this. He does this thing where he puts his hand out and he grabs, but he lets go. He grabs, pulls, lets go. Grabs, pulls, lets go. And I notice that's what he does. He keeps defenders close to him by grabbing them really quickly and pulling his hand back. So he has this thing where he pulls real quick and lets go. And the NFL needs to come down on that because he doesn't have really great cover skills. To me personally, I see him getting beat by other guys. Problem is when he plays somebody, when he's doing that, that's when he looks like he's so-called elite. So for Richard Sherman, you're getting away with a lot of stuff that maybe other people don't catch. But NBC at one point showed his coverage. Like they were like, oh, watch Richard Sherman's coverage is amazing. All I saw was grabs. That's all I saw was grabs. And the other one, Maxwell, he was doing the same thing as well. I saw Thurman grab Bolden a couple times. That doesn't really decide the outcome of a game, but how do you get to throw the ball to the receivers when your receivers are constantly getting held downfield? That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. And Colin Kaepernick really pretty much had nobody all day to throw to. So that's the only thing I'm going to say, because other than that, Seattle was dominant, and they were dominating the 49ers on the offensive line with Marshawn Lynch running, and that guy is a beast. Seattle Seahawks, you're lucky to have him because Buffalo just basically gave you a present. That guy is just straight up a beast, and he's an amazing running back. So I mean, I've liked him since he was in Buffalo, and it's sad that he's in Seattle, a team that I don't like, but I'm not gonna knock him because he's absolutely an amazing running back. But Russell Wilson struggled. The 49ers defense actually did show up. They came to play. Unfortunately, Reed went down. Ian Williams got a broken ankle off a play that I thought was kind of dirty. I know it was a legal hit. I understand it, but it still was a dirty play to take out a guy. He was being engaged sort of, and he basically took out his legs, and his ankle broke. So Niners they lost a lot of players. Vernon Davis left with a hamstring injury. It was just all around just a bad night for the 49ers. Hopefully they can regroup and get ready to face the Colts in Indianapolis, or at home, I'm sorry. And hopefully it'll just be a better day. But what I took from the game is Seattle was very dominant on defense, regardless of the holding on the pass interference I felt that was going on. They still were dominant, and it's hard to beat a team that's dominant like that defense, especially at home, and they play very well at home. I think that if it's going to be a hard time if Seattle wins a lot of games and wins more games than the Niners, and we have to go to Seattle to win a championship game, or we have to go to Seattle to win any kind of playoff game. It's going to be very, very hard because that crowd, it's just hard to win in Seattle. So with that being said, the Niners need to pick it up, win a bunch of games, win the rest of their games, and hope that Seattle loses one or two, because my goodness, they don't look like they're going to lose very many games with that kind of defense. They're always going to be in a game. It's kind of like how the Niners were in 2012. But yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about that game. Now, I wasn't hating on the Seahawks. Don't think that I'm being disrespectful in any way. I just felt from what I saw, they got away with a lot of holding from the defenders from the secondary. But that's just me. I mean, a lot of people were with me on that. A lot of people saw what I saw too as well, and I just think that. But that doesn't mean any disrespect to the Hawks, because my goodness, their defense is sick. So they're just as good as the 49ers in my mind. If that game was in San Francisco, I don't think that game would have been 29-3. I don't know if Seattle even would have won that game. It would have been closer. Maybe San Fran would have won. But in Seattle, they're just too tough to beat. It's just, for some reason, Seattle is just a really difficult team to play there. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think about the game. Let me know what you felt was going on during the process, and what do you think the Niners need to do going forward against Seattle? Like, what kind of game plan do you think they need to do? And please don't say anything about Alex Smith, because I'm sorry, he's playing in Kansas City. He's doing okay. I know he's got the no interception things, but first of all, who's he played? Second of all, come on, man, it's Alex Smith. I don't care what you say. He's no better than Colin. If he was under that kind of duress in Seattle, he would have probably had a worse game than Colin Kaepernick. So please don't give me Alex Smith comments, and I'll just basically delete them. So anything else is fine. If you want to talk the Niners that are in San Francisco now, that would be great. All right. So for JT Magnum, Niner News signing out. Peace.
You guys are good. You're a damn good football team, all right? And you know what? The longer it takes us to figure that out, the better we are. Who's got it better than us? Nobody!